We've told you about President Obama's sweeping gun proposals and the way gun supporters are fighting back. Well, tonight, a Miami Valley woman who has faced both ends of a gun barrel now sees two sides of the gun debate. Phyllis Uzzle's taking aim because she never again wants to be a target. On a terrifying night at her Tip City home,
I had already dressed for bed because it was pretty late when I heard my doorbell ring. So just before I got to the door, within maybe 5 feet, the door yanked open and a man pointed a gun at my face. And he said, "Give me everything you have." I thought of my children. I thought of my grandchildren.
And when the armed robber ran off with all the money Phyllis had in her home, she thought, for the first time in her life,
I want to be able to defend myself.
So Phyllis and her husband studied to qualify for an Ohio concealed handgun license. 8 hours in a classroom.
Put it in your hand, get your grip right. Okay.
And 5 hours on the shooting range, ending with certification and a little more peace of mind. Phyllis says she's careful to hide her gun, especially from those grandkids.
No, I'm very thorough about that. They will never know where it's at.
But there are some weapons Phyllis will not bring into her home. And she doesn't want to see in your home either, what critics call assault weapons.
I think you should be able to defend yourself, but to me, I think you can go a little overboard. I don't think you need all that.
The man who trained Phyllis here at Miami Valley Shooting Ground says it's not a matter of need. It's about the Second Amendment rights he fought for in Vietnam.
Criminals are in favor of gun control because it makes their job safer and they can be more productive. The average response time for a police officer, even in the best of worlds, is 3 to 4 minutes. So 3 to 4 minutes is a lifetime.
Well, why do you need a semi-automatic gun? After all, we have a First Amendment, but the Supreme Court says you can't have obscenity. Are these obscene weapons?
Those weapons you're talking about, Jack, are the same weapons the military came up with to stop the enemy and protect our soldiers, and the citizenry should have the same right.
Toby Hoover disagrees. Her husband was a gun victim. And while as executive director of the Ohio Coalition Against Gun Violence, she deplores violent video games and movies.
I want to see us in our general culture start looking at guns so that they're not some kind of idol.
She also wants tougher gun laws, especially universal background checks.
I can sit here right now and sell you a gun. I don't have to ask for any show of any identification. I don't have to keep any records.
Phyllis was happy to undergo a background check, but she knows criminals and mentally ill shooters don't. So she hopes the man who robbed her, who has never been caught, knows that she is no longer defenseless.
I think they assume that women aren't going to have anything for protection, but I think a lot of women should think about it.